Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. So, I thought I would put something in between my Apocalypse Dragons, but I am just too excited for them, guys. I really want to make these. Maybe I'll put one after this, or I'll just keep doing the Apocalypse Dragons, who knows. But today, we are doing the Horseman Plague. So we've done Death, we've done Plague, and then next we're gonna do Famine and War. So we got Plague today, and how fitting, of course, for this time that we are in our lives and what's happening in the world right now. I don't want to say it because I know I'll get blacklisted, but the big thing that everyone needs to wash their hands about, yeah, let's let's be careful about it. But all joking aside, it is a serious thing, but I did want to do my Four Horsemen, so yeah, this isn't a reaction piece to the virus. It's just I wanted to do a plague dragon, and that's it. But in all seriousness, yes, I am drawing the Horsemen of Plague. So what I did is I did some initial research looking into kind of like the Black Plague and different sicknesses that have plagued, not jokingly, humanity over the centuries, and I found out a lot of interesting stuff. So I did know some basic stuff about the Black Plague, but I didn't really know why it was called the Black Plague, or if I have learned it in the past. Apparently it's completely gone from my memory. But one of the things I found was that the skin cells on like your fingertips and ends of your limbs start to die and turn black, hence the Black Plague. And I thought that was just fascinating. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna have different black patches all over this dragon. The ends of its fingers and feet are gonna be turning black because it's like slowly like deteriorating. And then its tail, I made more of a stub because I was thinking, well, what if the whole end of the tail just like fell off because it died? Like all that skin and muscle just died because of the plague. That's what I was thinking. And then to tie in a bird theme as well to this dragon, because I was thinking I wanted the rider to look like a plague doctor, and a plague doctor has kind of that bird-shaped cone mask, sometimes associated with like ravens and such. So I was like, well, let's add in a bird element. So that's how I decided on the feathered wings for the dragon, and then just kind of also mimicking the shape of the plague doctor's mask in the shape of this dragon's face. It's very much like curved and pointed like a beak, but I wanted it to still have the dragon attributes. And then one of the things I think about a lot when it comes to like plague and sickness, a lot of the illustrations that I think of are like boils and like pustules and like different growths all over the body of a creature or a person. And that's kind of what I was thinking on the immediate forefront for this. So I was thinking we could combine the wings like slowly degenerating, feathers falling off, they're not really staying intact, and then we have the cells dying and the black patches all over the body at the end of the fingers, at the end of the toes, and at the end of the tail. And then I also thought at the end of the mouth as well. I know it's not like an appendage, but I'm just trying to think of where like things end is what I was thinking of for where the different black areas would go. And then we'd have boils and like weird growths all over this thing, and just have like this other sickly looking hair going down its neck. Basically, this thing does not look like it's in good shape. Like, I don't know how it's still alive. It's thin, you can see its muscles, like there's like boils all over it, just falling apart basically. I also didn't want to make him too thin because I really want to save that for famine, like just skin and bones thin. So this one, he still got a little muscle on him, but it's just his skin has become so like tight against it. There's like no more fat left on his body. And then one of the things, I think this one more comes with famine, but I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a scientist or anything like that. But I noticed like more, is it called jaunt stomach? Basically when the stomach is like when you're starving, the stomach still inflates out. So it looks like they have kind of a belly to them even though something is starving. I have no clue what that is. I don't know what the term is for it, but that's what I went with this. So it is thin, but it still kind of has that stomach to it. Because for the famine horseman, I really want to make it just skin and bones, super thin. I'm going to do a lot of research on kind of like famine and what happens to like a human body when it doesn't eat for a certain amount of time. Same with animals. I'm just gonna look into it, because the first thing I think of is like dogs. I know it's kind of sad, but like the Humane Society shows, you see like all the really sad thin animals. So I was thinking that would be something I would base my famine dragon off of. But here I am talking about a completely different dragon that I haven't even started yet, and we're still on the plague dragon. So let's just jump back into focusing on this guy. But I mean, there, you guys got a little bit of a hint for the famine dragon when I produce that one. So I am basically going in and detailing this guy, adding all of the fun little boils, and I was adding cross-hatching in the area that I wanted to make the black, like where the skin cells were degenerating and dying. And then just it added a lot of nice texture to this piece. I knew I was going to be coloring over it with Copics, but you know, it is what it is. I wanted to add some extra texture to go with the Copic, even though it kind of gets lost after it gets colored. I think it does add something to it for sure, but yeah. And it's also a reference guide, so then I'm like, oh, that's where the black goes. That's where I want to put the dying cells and skin. No big deal. So for this one, in terms of coloring, I wanted to go with the green, sickly colors, like very brownish, pale colors. Like they're not vibrant. They're very desaturated. They're just kind of gross looking, kind of more in the browns and lighter colors as well. And my first thought was I'm gonna make the whole dragon in this greenish color, and then have the boils in more of a red pustule, like blood blister type of look. And then I wanted the horns to be in kind of a sickly yellow, and I wanted like a really bright green at the end of the tongue is what I was thinking, so you can like see it has some weird sickness that's infected it outside and in. And yeah, the wings I also wanted to be like more of brown, so then it's very different from like the other creatures. I just thought brown worked really well with the green palette instead of just being like, here, black raven wings. I mean, that technically would have worked with the idea of the Plague Doctor, but I decided to make the Plague Doctor brown as well. I actually have a good friend of mine who does a Plague Doctor costume at our local Ren Fair. He's a YouTuber on here named Varakti, and he does a Plague Doctor costume with a brown coat, and I've always really liked that, because a lot of times you see the black coat Plague Doctors, which isn't bad, but I really like a different color palette and diversity. So I was thinking this would be a great opportunity to dive in, add those browns, add some different color diversity, because I foresee some of the other dragons in the future having black or like more of those darker gray tones to go along with them. And while I'm coloring here, I'm going to go ahead and do a little plug. I have restructured my Patreon officially. I think I announced this on the last one, but just wanting to let you guys know again in case anyone missed it. But I have new tiers rolling out in April. You can sign up early and get the previous perks. Like if you do the $10 one, you get the sketch postcard, and then I'm still going to do a Photoshop file of the month for this month for the $5. But next month, I'm going to have a Monster of the Month for $5. You get a full lore stat sheet monster for D&D, and then I have a $10 a month that has a postcard and a sticker of the month. You can get like a little hand-drawn postcard and a sticker sent to you. Oh, and the $5 tier will be included at the end of every video. I'm going to do a shout out, so anyone who's $5 or more will get a little plug at the end of every video. So I'd really appreciate your guys' support. I just wanted to let you guys know that things were changing over there in case you were interested, but let's get back to the dragon. And there we go, we are finishing up this dragon. I ended up signing it a little early because I'm starting to make TikTok, guys. I'm trying to be cool and hip like those young kids, so I just wanted to try out TikTok and see how it is, but I'm making a cool one for every dragon. So I did the signature a little early, and then I went back in and added some highlights. But here we are all done with our disgusting plague falling apart dragon. I really love this design, and I can't wait to see what you guys make. But let's go ahead and look at last week's dragons for the death dragon. Lots of diversity. I really love what you guys made. First off, ghost cat art. I like your combination of the Day of the Dead kind of aesthetic with the rainbow on the head and the flowers, and then the little sprinkle of Anubis, which is kind of cool. Overall, this is a really cool design. I love it. Really, really awesome and different. Scorching Shadow, you went all in on the Egyptian theme and look. I really love it, and that you have a full like rider with a saddle, like altar on its back, and the coloring. I really like this one a lot. Really cool design. And Vincent Selva 12, wow, this is a very demanding piece. It's like crazy. You put a lot of detail into the dragon and the clouds and everything around it. Really awesome work. I love how this one turned out. And then you guys had so much amazing work and diversity. Really cool. Like some of you went for more skeletal dragons, other went for more flesh and bone and like some interesting, cool design elements. It's just cool seeing what you guys do every week. So thank you so much for participating. In this week's dragon. So if you guys would like to enter for your plague dragon, go ahead and post your dragon over on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag KM100dragons and try to get them up just basically the Thursday before my video. That would be super helpful sometime before 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That helps me out a lot. So anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you like this, I would love if you left a like down below and share your ideas for different dragons down in the comments. I would love to hear what ideas you guys have. And then if you aren't already, I'd super appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and join our little monster loving community. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.